Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of the Cousin
Connection.
Podcast.
Oh,
You didn't
shoot.
say the podcast part.
Okay, let's redo that again.
Huh? Really?
I mean, it was fine.
Okay,
but,
okay,
like-
okay. We'll try one more time. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to the Cousin
Connection.
Podcast. Oh, that actually worked out.
Yeah, that was really good. Sounded very
My name's
oafish.
Amir.
My name is Sarah.
And welcome to our not technically first episode. Yeah, let's start with full transparency here. We're recording this podcast after we've already recorded about 3 or 4 of them. But since it is the month of Ramadan, as we're recording this,
This
we
is
thought
a
it would
special
be
edition.
exactly. We thought we would make a special, even though it's literally our first episode we're gonna put out. And we thought, it would be appropriate to put out an episode that at least addresses the fact that we're
Fasting.
and we're in the middle of Ramadan. So yeah, we're gonna start off with this, and we'll go from there. So,
Can you move that pillow down? I can't see your face.
oh,
This is literally how you're talking, Amir.
I'm trying to relax here. I'm
I
trying to
can
get a
only see your
relaxing
one eye
mode.
through the pillow. Get
Okay,
comfortable.
Okay,
By the
I'm
way,
super comfortable right now.
we're in the living room today in my
Mhm.
house on the couches, and we're just like, it's a vibe. You know?
Yeah, this is really chill. The windows
Yeah.
open,
Yeah.
breeze is coming in.
Sun's out.
Yeah, you don't want to know what we did to set up this podcast today. So, can I swear? Can we is
Will it be
my dumb
demonetized?
butt?
That sounds so lame. My dumb butt.
But like, okay, so I came to Sada's house today to record this podcast, and I keep everything in a box, so like I can never forget it. Everything I put it in a box when we're done, and I take it out, so whenever we need to record, it's all ready and set together. I don't know why, but the last time we recorded the podcast, we were putting it all together, I forgot the power cable of all things. So I literally came to Sada's house, 20-minute drive, 26-minute drive. I pull up and start pulling out all the stuff out of the box. I'm like, I already know what happened. I
Wait,
just
where
looked
was it,
into the
though?
box. It was in the same spot we recorded last time. I left it plugged in the whole time.
Shoot,
So yeah, I had to drive. I drove here 27 minutes.
I felt really
Forgot the
bad.
power cable. Drove all the way back just to pick up the power cable. My mom calls me a dumb butt when she sees me run back in just to get the power cable, and I drive all the way back so he can get this done for you guys. So even though it's probably like one listener, this is what we do for you.
It's probably us listening to ourselves.
Exactly. Okay, so since it is the Ramadan, I actually had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's a pandemic and everything, do you feel like you're missing that like Ramadan spirit? Like there's something different about Ramadan during a pandemic, like you just can't get into it like you used to?
Yes and no, because like last year I loved that we were at home.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I've ever like just fasted at home with just me and my parents, and
Mhm.
I was like, wow, I have so much time to do like what I want to do, because like
Mhm.
for anyone who's listening who isn't Muslim, the month of Ramadan is not just about fasting. Like we really put in more effort than we normally do. I mean, we
Mhm.
should always be putting in effort, but
Yeah.
Muslims will tend to put in more effort during that specific month because it's such a blessed month, to do more acts of worship. And the fact that like I was working from home for the first time in ever, basically,
Mm-hmm.
I had all this free time, and I was so happy last year. But this year,
Mhm.
I'm like, I kind of want to like break my. Remember all the iftar parties we used to have?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So like I had the same feeling because I mentioned this before. I'm an introvert. Like I like doing things by myself, like being by myself. So the first year when we did it, I loved it
Yeah.
because he didn't have that obligation to like go out and kind of
Yeah.
do things every week. But this year I'm like, I'm low key missing that.
Yeah, like even just going to the center to like
Exactly.
see everyone Friday, Saturday,
Mhm.
praying together, like that's the part that I miss interacting with people. But
Yeah, and it
I
made me
mean-
think. It made me think of like the golden age. Like, what was your favorite year of Ramadan? What was your golden age of Ramadan? Like that was ideal.
when
experience.
Ramadan was in the winter and we used to go to Warden Woods Friday and Saturday,
That was your ideal.
I used to live for those. Literally, I would live for those moments,
Yeah.
because first of all, remember that ride home? Okay, for you lived like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
from Warden
exactly. I lived across the street.
Woods. For me, it was like a 30-minute ride home.
Mm-hmm.
And just like being able to sleep when it snows, it's
Yeah.
like the best feeling in the world. But like seeing everyone and all the amazing food that people. It's like a giant potluck.
Yeah, and
with,
for
like,
context, we're talking about every, I think, Friday, Saturday, and maybe sometimes Sunday.
I feel like it was Sunday.
Yeah,
too.
I think it was Sunday too. Our community, our Muslim community, would have like a general iftar, like a gathering, a group iftar, and like people would bring their food, and we'd all eat together on the floor, and it was just a nice community iftar that we'd have every week.
Yeah, a lot of like memories. Like every time I talk about it with the girls, they're always like, "Oh, remember so and so's like salad or your mom's tuna casserole or whatever it is that they would."
I
make.
look forward to sambusa and bhajia. Oh, I love that stuff. I still look forward to sambusa and bhajia.
And like if your mom or your aunts are serving, you kind of have to like make eye contact with them. Like, don't forget about me.
Yeah, and all the kids will go crazy for the macaroni for some reason. Why do we love macaroni so much?
I don't even know. You know what though? I realized like they've had the same recipe for like 20 years because it tastes exactly this. It never disappoints.
Yeah, it's like why fix something I ain't broke, right?
Yeah, it really. You know how people say it quenches your thirst?
Yeah.
Does it quench your hunger? What does it do? It satisfies
for
your
the
hunger?
macaroni.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know
Satisfies your
because
hunger?
it's
Is that the saying?
well, it's all carbs, right? And carbs are heavy, so they make you
protein in the ground beef. Okay.
Yeah, and there's also a little bit of protein in the ground beef, but the carb is what makes you full very quickly, right? So that's why we love this so much, because you could eat it and you would actually feel like you had a proper meal at the end.
Yeah.
But for me, like my golden age wasn't that. My golden age was like when we used to have iftar, that general iftar at. Do you remember the community center next to Winston Churchill, the high school?
The little in the high school?
No, next to it. Remember
that little library thing?
Yeah, exactly. Next to the library, we would have the iftar in there. I know it was a weird time, right?
I honestly, like, I'm not even joking. I have
You
no.
forgot about that? Okay,
no
maybe this will remind you. But like that was the time when we were just old enough to where after we were done eating,
we would go to Tim Hortons.
Exactly. The parents did not care where we went. We would just we'd all go as a group. We'd walk across the street to the Tim Hortons. We'd get a donut, maybe get a coffee, or like some people get the slushy because the Tim Hortons was inside the gas station. Exactly. And that was my golden age, because like you didn't have to worry about parents bothering you about where you're going. You had ultimate freedom, and you could just chill with your friends by going to the shop. And we'd be there till like, because we also I think prayed Tarawih there. Yeah. So we'd be there until like midnight sometimes.
Yeah.
And just putting out the chairs, folding everything back up at the end of the day, seeing your brothers and sisters and everything. And
I feel like every Muslim community, maybe in Toronto, Tim Hortons is like it's a staple. It's a thing you need in Ramadan. Like after you break your fast before Tarawih, like you have to go. And when I think the Tim Hortons next to my house was 24 hours. So and there was a mosque next to Tim Hortons next to my house. Next to my house, how there's like down the street, there's like that large mosque, and like every Eid, the police have to come down because so many people are coming in that they have to like block off the road. Yep. But because of all those people who are going to Tarawih, pray Tarawih at that mosque, they all chill at the Tim Hortons. Oh, wow. So like every day after we would come back from the community center, I would go to that Tim Hortons as well. And it would be full of people just chilling, just talking there, Isn't
having
that
their
so
coffee.
Nice, though?
Exactly.
Like you feel so safe and like, what a cute little Muslim community.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, that's what I missed about Ramadan. It's just you felt there was like a feeling in the air. It was like an aura that was just around when it was Ramadan. And I didn't feel that much this year.
Yeah, I know. Like even to like feel connected, I was actually just talking to one of the girls in our community, and I don't know if you remember, but last year we had that like Zoom session with all the youth.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh yeah, you were fully part of it.
Was
remember.
I?
Yeah, because you were clapping off a beat.
Oh, oh yes, now I remember that.
So I was like telling her like, oh, I wonder if someone could like organize that again, because it's a lot of work. Yeah. Just getting people on board, and like I know people are shy and don't want to like participate and whatnot, but it was so nice to like see everyone on camera.
But that was a time when everyone was in quarantine. But now, because
are they not all in quarantine now?
No, in America everybody's kind of going around and doing their own thing now.
That's true. America, Australia, they're all free, and we're
we're literally in like the worst lockdown we've ever been in, or shutdown we've ever been in. But I don't want to talk about that. Let's stick back to Ramadan. Yeah. But like, so do you ever think of Ramadan as like a checkpoint? Do you know what I mean by that?
No, can you expand?
Yeah, so like every year I kind of do an audit of my religiosity. Does that make sense?
Your spiritual
balance. Spiritual balance, exactly. And like my, at least the way that I think is that
Mhm.
if I'm not a better Muslim every year, then what am I doing, right? What, like, you should be implementing changes so that, because I guess the ultimate goal is to be a pious,
Pious Muslim.
person.
Yeah.
Do the basics of Islam is like do the good deeds and avoid the sins, right?
Right.
So I try to use Ramadan as like a checkpoint of like, okay, so what have I done in the past year, and what can I improve on for the next year? Because this is like the time when you're technically the most spiritually awake, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you do anything like that? Do you ever do like a self audit of your? And what have you done? What have you implemented anything recently, or thought of implementing anything recently to kind of improve your deen?
That's a good question, and I was like fully nodding, like agreeing with
Yeah.
you, but like yes, I agree with
Oh, okay.
everything you just said. I'm here like yeah, it's a good point.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's Ramadan is like a checkpoint.
Mhm.
It's almost like you know how people have New Year's resolutions and you
Yeah.
have Ramadan resolutions, and
Yeah.
I think when I was younger, I used to have goals that I wanted to achieve in the month,
Mhm.
but then in the last few years, like maybe the last I think as I just got more self-aware within myself and
Yeah.
specifically not about like my mental or emotional state, but like my spiritual state,
Yeah.
I really focused on developing habits that I keep after Ramadan.
Mhm.
Because that's how you grow, right? If
Yeah.
you maintain these habits, you have 30 days to build a habit,
Mhm.
and then you have to maintain it for the whole year. Sometimes, you fall off, you're a human being.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's don't
It
be
happens.
so hard on yourself. It happens,
Mhm.
yeah. But like sometimes, like for like last year, for example,
Mhm.
I told myself I wanted to learn how to read Surah Yasin, because my parents are always like, oh, when we die, like,
Yeah.
you know how they always read it at
Oh, they never
Amitagar?
taught it back to you in.
They never taught me
Quran
that.
Gate?
Never. No, I never learned that surah.
Really?
That was like the one that I didn't learn.
Mhm.
Like I know Surah Al-Mulk.
Yeah.
I've never learned Yasin ever.
That's ironic because like I knew Yasin, but one of my things that I was doing is going back to it and making sure like kind of
You pronouncing it. Like,
pronouncing everything properly, that kind of thing, like kind of
Refresher or
refreshing
whatever.
on it. Exactly.
I just was like trying to learn it. So
Yeah.
last year I did the first page.
Mhm. It's a lot of pages. It's
I
like,
know, but I did the first page. I got to the first page.
I think altogether it's 83
Ayahs?
ayahs. Yeah.
I think I maybe did like 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like
Yeah, that's
you
still
know.
good. Honestly, anything is.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
better than I
Better
haven't
than
touched
nothing.
it before, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really look at it after Ramadan.
Mhm.
So this year I was like, okay,
Mhm.
this year my goal is, I'm going to. So my mom had her goal last year was to finish reading the whole Quran,
Yeah.
and she did it 3 times. I was like,
She finished it 3 times?
yeah, because okay, she was really lucky. Last
Yeah.
year she wasn't working,
Yeah.
so she was just reading the Quran all
Mhm.
day and all night.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I want to do
Mashallah.
that. Mashallah. Yeah, yeah. Like that's something I wanted to try.
Mhm.
So that's what I started. I remember I was listening to a lesson from Sheikh Imagine. He was saying like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's like, I know some people might be discouraged because they're like, oh, I don't have, like, I haven't been taught the surah, so I can't actually read it. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
that fluent in Arabic, or
Yeah.
I can't read it that well. So he's like, even if you listen to it or just like, focus and you read it with your eyes, but listen to it with your ears. And I was like, I'm going to do that. So I've been reading along with like, I was listening to like on my phone,
Yeah.
reading along a couple surahs each night.
Yeah.
And then for when I get to the stage where I'm like, okay, I don't know, I've never read this one before,
Yeah.
I'll just listen to it
Mhm.
and try to at least finish it in that sense. Because I've never, like, have you actually sat there and listened to the entire Quran?
No.
Like, I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
think
some surahs I've never heard before.
I think I've heard the whole Quran, but I've never done it in like a whole sitting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like you hear each surah like here and there kind of thing, but I've
Yeah.
never actually gone from page 1 to page, what is it,
Covered
3,
it.
7, 6. I don't know how many pages are. Well, I guess it depends on which book. Yeah,
It depends, yeah.
exactly. But I guess that's kind of similar to what I was doing when you were saying you were doing the 2 or 3 lines here and there.
Page, surahs.
Surahs, exactly.
Surahs, by the way, are like chapters.
Oh,
guess
yeah,
you could call
yeah,
it that, right?
yeah.
Chapters.
Yeah, each
Yeah.
surah would be a chapter, and the ayahs are like each
Verses
line.
or line. Yeah.
Verses. For a long time, there was a time where I didn't even look at the Quran for like years. Like you'd recite it in your prayers and stuff, and
the usual short surahs.
short surahs here and there, or you'd hear it like at the lessons that I would go to every week. But physically opening up the book
Yeah.
and reading off the pages, I did not do for a significant part of my life.
Like after you left Saturday school.
Yeah,
right?
after I left Saturday school.
Mm.
And I don't know, I think it's because like it was so ingrained in us in Saturday school, like it was something that we had to do every week, that you kind of burnt out a little bit, because you were like, okay, now I have the freedom, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but that little bit of a break turns into
like
years of a
10
break.
years.
Exactly. So when Ramadan came, I think last year, I was like, okay, so I got to do something. So I started doing this thing where I would take, so I already started reading at that point. I think, no, actually I didn't even start reading books at that point, but at some point I started, I had this idea. I was like, how would if I just say take 30 minutes out of each day, and I'll choose a surah, like I chose Yasin, and I'll do 30 minutes of just reviewing that every day, and wherever I was at, even at that 30 minutes, I'll just cut off and be like, okay, I'll go on the next day. Because this works in any aspect of your life. If you want to, you have to build habits slowly, right? So like
Yeah.
you start off, like you don't go all in at once, because if you go all in at once and
You'll
you don't
burn out
build that habit,
faster.
you're gonna burn out quickly.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'll dedicate just like 30 minutes a day, and let's say if you wanted to do something like this, you could say 10 minutes a day, and then and even if you miss a day, you don't feel bad about it. You just say, okay, I'll make sure to get it on the next day, but at least build that habit. So I started doing that. And also another big part of me was that I wasn't doing my prayers like at the beginning of the time. I'd always be doing them at like literally 30 minutes before they're about to leave. So I started to implement that, be like, okay, it has to be at least in like the first half of the time.
That reminded me of something, but I'm gonna tell you after you finish.
Okay, and those were really just the two main things that I said I had to improve on. And also I think I said I had to finish at least like one religious book, or just read a religious book, anything to do with Islam in general, just read one book. And I did that. I think I mentioned it in another podcast that probably hasn't come out yet. It was called The Lives of Man. So that was one book that I did, but like just implementing small things like that is what I chose to kind of improve. And then this year, I still haven't even actually come up with my goals for this coming year. I'm probably going to be
For Ramadan or like after Ramadan?
for things to kind of go from this Ramadan to the next Ramadan, right? Because that's my goal, right? To improve over time. And it doesn't have to be just like physical things. These are physical things that I was doing, like things I could, like reading is like a physical act, and make sure you're doing your prayer in the beginning, first half is a physical act, but it could be things internally as well. Like, I think everybody's role model, at least in the Muslim community, it should probably be the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The Prophet, the companions, the other prophets before him, they're all the you know, I want to use Arabic terms, but I also want to be inclusive. The companions, yeah, like they're all top ranking Muslims, and they are the ones that we try to emulate in our actions, our sayings, our doings, our good deeds. You know what I mean? Like we should be trying to be like them, male and female.
Exactly.
So,
and that was something that I at least made myself very mindful. I was like, you know how there's that line, people say like, what would Jesus do? I would say, what would Muhammad do? How would he react in this situation? I'm not saying that I know exactly how to react, but at least like try and
maybe think back to like stories that we've heard in lessons.
Yeah, and judge like or choose how you react to situations, how you were taught how the Prophet acted, or his manners and all those things that he's done. Like try and implement those manners into your own life. Yeah. So like how you treat people, generally how you treat people, like those kind of things. I just started to be more mindful of that.
Yeah, same. That's an interesting point where you said you differentiated between like the physical actions versus like the internal stuff. Yeah. But what you reminded me of before was in terms of the prayer, like I didn't always wait until the end, but I know that sometimes, like, you know, you're doing something, you're like, oh, I need to pray. And you kind of just like rush the prayer, like, you know what I mean? And you're not really focusing. But a goal that I had last year that I actually kind of stuck to, alhamdulillah, like I'm, you know, inshallah I can continue to stick to it. But ooh,
Oops. Don't worry about that.
don't break it. Oh my god, it fell over.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Was the thing that I stuck to was being more mindful in my prayer, like actually taking my time, doing all the sunnahs, you know what I mean, like really just what's the word, like submerging myself in that act of worship, you know. So I stuck to that, and now it's like, because I know for at least for me, and I don't know if anyone can relate to this, sometimes like you never want to reach that point in your spirituality where you feel like praying, fasting, and doing certain things is a chore. You never want to get to that point, because then you're like, yo, I need to check myself real quick. So for me, it was like, oh, I need to pray, and it's not like I need to go pray. It's like, no, this is my time. I need to go pray. Like I need to dedicate this time to worship my Lord, and you know what I mean. So that was one thing that I did. But in terms of checking myself internally, it's definitely exactly what you said, like how I treat people, how I talk to people, how I treat my family. One thing that I really put on myself in the last like 2 years, I would say, and I'm not perfect, okay, so any family members that are listening to this, like, she ain't do shit, is I really wanted to like try my best to maintain that family tie, like actually reaching out to people. And like one goal that I had for myself just in general, not even just for Ramadan, is like, you know, sometimes you'll think of someone and you're like, I wonder how they're doing, and then you just never reach out. And then like 5 years will go by and you're like, yo, I was thinking about you that one time. So now I'm like, if I think of somebody, I'm like, what's wrong? Why don't people do that? Like, hey, you came to mind and I just wanted to call you. Yeah. Like imagine how, like, if I called you, I mean, I would never do this. Yeah. I might one day surprise you, like, hey Amir, I feel like we talk
even
so
though
often.
we see each other more than enough.
Yeah, but like imagine if I didn't see you for like, remember that day last year when we came over to your house after going grocery shopping, because we just didn't see you in so long. Oh yeah. Like just like obviously that's not something you would do all the time, but like just even like someone calling you to say, hey, you know who's really good at doing that?
Who?
Abbas.
Really?
Shout out to Abbas.
Actually, yeah, he is.
He's really good at doing that.
He did do that, yeah.
And I admire that about him. But like, you know, like just little things like that. Like that was something that I also like.
Abbas is our cousin, by the way, or at least he's my cousin.
We grew up together. We're basically
we all
cousins.
grew up
You know
together.
how it is in the Habasha community.
Exactly.
Okay, everyone's your cousin. You grew up with them and you automatically have like blood ties.
I might have to steal that from you, because I'm really bad at that. Like I can go a year, 2 years without talking to anyone, and just
hey, this might be one of your goals for this year.
Yeah. Do you have actually? We should probably talk about that. Do you have any goals coming up? Or have you thought of anything yet?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is this something you want to reveal, or is it something you're trying to keep close right now?
I can reveal it.
Okay, go ahead.
I can reveal it. I think for me, it's the goal that I have is learning not to take certain things personally and giving people the benefit of the doubt more than I already do. Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like it's not enough. You know, like I'll say that I'm giving someone the benefit of the doubt, but deep down I'm still harboring like feelings towards it. Yeah. But like now I'm really pushing myself, like even if I can find one minuscule excuse to overlook someone, the way that they treated me, spoke to me, maybe didn't even say anything to me, I'm gonna try my best to give them that, because in the moments that I did do it, and I'm sure you can relate to this, don't you feel so much more like at peace mentally? Like you're not overthinking it. You're just like, okay, maybe they just did this, and okay, you're fine. Yeah, that's how I normally think, because it's a lot more of a burden to hold on to it than just to let it go, right? Yeah. And I guess that kind of goes back to what we were talking about taking on some of the manners of the Prophet, because that's something that Prophet would do. He would give the people the benefit of the doubt. Like it has to be very blatant for it to be taken in some type of negative way. But because you know what I used to say, I always would say like, I'm someone who believes in more than just a second chance, and I think being forgiving is a very praised thing in Islam. It's a good thing to have. Yeah. That being said, I always used to say like, don't be naive. Like don't let someone play you. You know? Like you forgive them, but don't let them play you. Come on, you go now you're just dumb. Yeah. But I took that a little too much, and so now it's like, I'm not even gonna give you a chance to play me. I'll forgive you, but I'm gonna forget you and cut you out of my life. You know, so I think I took it to an extreme. But I don't think I don't think it has to be like that.
No.
Like you can forgive someone, be cordial with them,
Mm-hmm.
have a laugh or two.
Yeah.
But when it comes to certain things where you feel like you might be getting played,
Mm-hmm.
put your outline your boundaries right then and there to that
Mhm.
person,
Mm-hmm.
friend, romantic relationship, family members,
Mm-hmm.
coworker, whatever it may be.
Very
Just
true.
communicate whatever it is you got to communicate.
Well, yeah, it all comes down to communication,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. I think literally anything or like anything that has to do with human interaction all comes down to communication
And comprehension.
and comprehension. Exactly.
Because you can communicate all you want, but if I don't understand
Yeah,
you,
yeah. If you guys speak two different languages, then where's communication going to help you?
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. But yeah, I think that's my goal.
Okay, mine was
What's yours?
more physical, I guess, again. Because,
What
of
is-
course, it's always to still take on more the manners of the
Mm.
Prophet, but also mine was to learn more dua.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, have you noticed after the prayer,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so useless because, like, especially now in Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
when we pray Jama'ah, like for Maghrib,
Mm-hmm.
my dad he'll be usually leading.
Mm-hmm.
And after he's done, he'll make dua and he'll like give out like a 1 minute dua,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll all just say Ameen and everything. But
Mhm.
and I'm trying to mouth it with him so I can learn it.
Yeah.
But I want to take the time to actually sit down and learn the dua properly so I can do
Yeah.
it myself. And that really the issue, at least to me, like kind of showed itself more in the past couple days because my dad, he's been working later in the evening. Like he'll work at from like 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock, so he'll miss
Maghrib prayer.
and he won't miss the Maghrib prayer for himself, but like he'll miss iftar. Well, technically Maghrib, yeah, exactly.
Maghrib with you guys.
Exactly, with us. So I would be the one leading, and I'm good with the leading and everything. But at the end, for giving the dua, I was like, "I'm sorry, guys, I can't help
every
you."
man for himself.
Exactly, every man for themselves. So that's something I really want to improve on. So like, I don't feel I feel like I can make a proper dua after the prayer because you can always make it, I guess, in your own language.
Yeah.
But it's
You
better
could
to know it.
technically
Yeah.
say it in English, but I think it's the Arabic language is so unmatched.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Exactly.
And I think what would make it easier for you is if you find a duet that you like, but also learning the meaning, because you
Yeah.
actually are conscious of what you're saying.
Definitely learning the meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's a good one. I kind of want to
And steal that one too. Hey, that's what this is for, right?
Exactly.
So you can learn from each other.
Exactly. I like that one.
Yeah, because dua has always is in all the years we went to Quran Gay, which is, if you don't know, Quran Gay is like the school or religious school that we went to every Saturday.
Yeah.
We would go to that school. And I think a lot of the people in our community, at least in their younger years, went to Quran Gay or had Quran Gay or had some type of connection to it. But yeah, they would teach us like Arabic. They would teach us Quran. They would teach us the religion, but
Like rules of the religion.
rules of the religion. But I think like dua was the one thing that was kind of lacking, or at least something maybe I wasn't maybe paying attention. Maybe it was being taught, but I just wasn't paying attention as much. But that's something that I really needed to improve on, and that's something I want to work on for the next year. Well, for the rest of my life, but at least implement it now.
You're focusing it on.
And focus on it and make it something that's like part of my life in the future and learn more and more over time.
But like you do like the personal ones, right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because that's something that I remember like I used to only do during Ramadan. But after last year, that was another goal that I had last year, was to maintain the consistency of saying certain things after prayers. And I've kind of stuck to it. So I'm like, oh, this habit actually stuck. This is a good thing. So I'm going to focus on dua now.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. And so for, I guess, something else we can probably close off the episode here is that like...
Eid?
Huh?
Is it too early to talk about Eid? It's only the first
Okay,
week
let's
of
talk
Ramadan.
about Eid then.
I feel like we've had some really good Eid memories.
Yeah, Eid, like I remember Eid for me. When did it stop being like? Remember how Eid we would actually all go to the same place after, but now like recently it's been more like we'd all go to different places. We try to make plans, but sometimes they might not work out.
Yeah.
So I know I went to talking about like the golden age of our Ramadan iftars, but like what was the golden age of Eid for you?
I think you know what I'm gonna say.
Which
When we do the Eid barbecues, it was literally between your house and my house every single year, and I used to live for those. You know which one I actually remember like really, really well? It sticks out in my memory.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I was stuck in Bahrain in 2012 and I surprised all of you guys? I just showed up because you guys all thought I was like stuck there for another day.
Yeah.
And I remember Sabri and my mom came over to your house. We were hiding. Me and Nabat was in the car with me, but I was hiding in the car.
Yeah.
And then they all came. You guys said hi to them.
Yeah.
And then I came out and I thought I was sneaking into your house, but your mom saw me and she literally screamed. She was you know your mom.
Oh, you can hear her from the other side of the planet.
She screamed so loud. Like I was scared. I was like, and then because she screamed, everyone else was like, what happened? What happened? And then all the girls came and it was like a good like cry sesh because I thought it was
How long were you stuck there? You were stuck there for like...
It was honestly like one day, but there was a chance that we weren't going to catch the next flight out.
Yeah. And you were with some people, right? You were with...
yeah, I was with Manal,
yeah,
Sumaya, and Sammy.
Yeah.
So we thought we were going to miss Eid.
Yeah.
Like it was the last day of Ramadan there. And so then I told my parent, like eventually I came back, but like I didn't have a phone or whatever. So no one actually knew I was back here.
What year was this?
2012. I had a phone, but I lost my SIM card.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't post anything. Like that was the age of posting literally every second of your life on Facebook, or Twitter, or whatever. But no one knew I was here. And the next day was Eid. So why didn't I go to Eid prayer? I don't know why I didn't go. Usually I go to Eid prayer. I don't know why I didn't go this year. Maybe I slept in. I don't know. But then I came to your house. And it was just like so nice after being gone for 7 weeks to see.
Yeah, I miss those.
You want to do one this? Oh, never mind. It's Corona.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
And I was naive enough to be like, because I didn't, the numbers, I wasn't looking at them for the longest time when it came to like the COVID numbers for the week. And then when Ramadan started, I didn't know that how bad it was getting. So I was like, I was sending people messages, be like, inshallah, by the end of this month, we'll all have Eid together. We'll all be vaccinated. I thought that we would all be vaccinated and be good by that point. I thought the numbers maybe like around 1,000.
You really thought.
Next thing you know, we're having like 4,000, 5,000 a week or a day.
Did you see? They're predicting that the cases are going to get up to 18,000 in May. Like, I can't comprehend that in my mind.
How are there enough people to do that? Like, I feel like everyone's at least gotten it. Here.
Right? That means we're all going to get it again if we don't get vaccinated. I mean, even if we do, we might get it. But yeah, like, that was like the Eid barbecues. Yeah. That was something that I missed cool that so much.
Yeah, but if you go further back, I remember, I don't know if it was the whole community who did this or it was just us. Remember Chuck E. Cheese?
Yes.
Why did we all go to Chuck E. Cheese after? Yeah, I think it's because you could just put the kids there and let them have fun and do their thing.
No, but I can't imagine taking a bunch of kids to Chuck E. Cheese now. Could you imagine that headache? And now that I think back, like, how are we not afraid of Chuck E. Cheese? Like the things, the dancing mouse.
I was afraid of them.
Then why would we go every year?
I have no idea. Like that was a weird thing. I think it's just because of the games.
Did they have like a jungle gym type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we went. Yeah. That's why. That makes sense.
But I feel like Chuck E. Cheese was like that time where everyone just knew where you were going right after Eid prayer. Like it wasn't even a thought. You were like, I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese and I'm going to get that Eid money and give it to my parents and never see it again.
Oh, man.
I feel like that's what paid off my college. Just all that Eid money I used to get when I was a kid.
All the money you saved. Even now, like Sabri, when last year Nuh was like maybe 5 or 6 months. My nephew was like 5 or 6 months, and I gave him Eid money, and I was like, "Can I trust that you're gonna actually give this to him?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give it to him." He was like, "Oh, well, this is for our lunch later." I was like, "Yo." How you just gonna do that? No,
you gotta tell him to put it into a bank account for him.
Exactly.
And in the future, he can take it out and pay off student loans. With all that Eid money they be getting. But do kids get that much Eid money these days?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because we're not part of that circle. Like, I feel like we should be the ones giving out that Eid money now. We're at that age.
Do you give out Eid money?
Like, my parents, they tell me every time you should be giving Eid money to your nieces and nephews. Or not your nieces and nephews.
Like
yeah,
the younger kids.
Yeah, the younger kids.
Yeah.
And like I might pull out $5 or like $10 here and there, but
you know why?
We would get like some real bucks back in the day.
Because we don't care. We're not a cash generation. Yeah, that's why.
I guess that's a big thing.
You got e-transfer? But like our parents, they're just carrying bare cash with them.
Back in the day, used to carry cash all the time, so it was a little easier just to give that out.
Yeah.
feel like it had like the same mentality. Is like you just have a bunch of cash in your wallet, taking out $5 or $10 you didn't really feel it as much.
Let me just tell everyone that's listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Amir's dad was like the king of Eid money.
Mm.
And you know what annoyed me? It's like he would give it to like, his actual nieces, like us.
Yeah.
He'd give it to all of us kids. Then the other kids are like, yo, that guy's giving out 20s. It's like a lineup
of kids just waiting for him to get money. What I low-key think is that he used to take my Eid money and just give it out to those kids.
Recycle it.
And recycle it, exactly. Just hold it on for the next year.
I'm actually crying just thinking about that. I miss it so much. Oh my gosh.
I should show you the videos of our, like, I have videos from the 90s when we used to have Eid. I'll show you those. I'll show you those later.
I want to see those. But yeah, like, I miss Eid so much. Now I'm like getting sad.
Mm-hmm. Inshallah, next year we'll have like a proper Eid.
I don't know
if the government knows how to get their poop together.
Yeah.
Why am I trying to get their? Can I say the?
Yeah.
Yeah, get their shit together, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can speak for all Canadians. We're frustrated. We're tired. We are so over this virus pandemic. Have people been dying? Like, I stopped watching the news at this point because.
Yeah, it's. I think the other day it was 29 deaths. And
this is the new strain that they're talking about?
Well, I think it's just all the strains kind of mixed up together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we can go a little bit off topic here with, like, now how Ontario's in, like, an extra hard lockdown where everything is closed. And
have you been to, like, the grocery store this week? Or last week? Like,
no, I haven't been in a couple weeks because I meal prep, right? Oh. So I buy all my food 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then I like can make it over time. So I haven't really seen it. How they are.
I went to Costco last week and they literally closed off all non-essential aisles.
I saw a video of that.
Just food. It's literally just food. That's it. So like when we went there with my mom, we were going to return. She bought like a cheese grater.
Yeah.
And so she's like, we don't need this anymore. I'm just going to return it. They told us we can't return it because they're not selling this item right now.
What? You can still return it.
No, they said they are not taking any returns for non-essential items. I'm like, but this is...
That makes no sense. Just hold it in your inventory until you open up again.
Yeah, but they, like, it was weird. So we weren't able to return it. And, you know what else is like
what?
A memory that an unlocked memory?
Yeah.
Do you remember shopping for Eid clothes?
Yo, we had drip back in the day. Did you see our Eid photos?
Listen, okay? Mm-hmm. When you walked into the Eid prayer, while they're still making they're still reciting the dhikr before the actual prayer. Yeah. In my mind, how I remembered is like I would be walking in slow motion.
That's your runway, exactly.
With your fresh, uncreased kicks.
Exactly. Yo, you had the cleanest clothes. You'd set it up like the day before so that it would all be ready because you knew that like you'd have to go at 7 o'clock in the morning just to make for the Eid prayer. So you had to have everything ready and on the go.
What type of Eid prayer goer were you? Were you always on time? You were always on time.
Yeah, I was always on time.
Always like 30 seconds before the imam is about to say Allahu Akbar, like running in.
It made sense because you guys were further out. Literally every time we had Eid, it was always lucky. 5 minutes down the street for me. Because being in Scarborough, at least like the part of Scarborough that we were in where the community center was right there. So I would always just be ready within 10 minutes and just step out. But my favorite parts were the mornings. Like it is a tradition that my mom makes malawah.
Yep.
Every morning with the eggs and sometimes you'd have dakka.
Fatira.
Which is fatira. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
We're fasting, man.
I remember that. I remember. Now I want some. I'm going to see if I can beg my mom. She's off tomorrow. And just like, hey, can you make us some?
No, you gotta. I'm waiting to
it's like the build up for Eid.
Exactly. I purposely don't eat malawah or anything related to malawah.
Yeah.
For that whole month. So when I get it, on the first day of Eid in the morning, when I'm eating after the prayer, when you're getting like the food,
true.
It just hits different. I don't know.
Very true.
Oh my! I can't wait for Eid. Honestly, like even though we're not gonna be able to all be together, maybe it depends on if people just follow. Because sometimes, honestly, I've noticed that in our community, people don't follow the rules as much.
They do. They make exceptions.
Yeah, they make exceptions, and when they make those exceptions, they're big exceptions.
True.
Yeah, so We'll see how it works out.
But like, don't
month.
you like? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's different for guys, but Eid clothes shopping.
Yeah.
That was stress.
No,
Okay?
I wasn't stressed. What are you talking about? You just
Any girls that are
Mhm.
listening to this, especially if you were like last minute and you're going the night before, it's like
yeah.
8:30. The mall's about to close in half an
Yeah.
hour. Your mom's yelling at you like, "Pick something."
Wasn't there like I swear I don't know if it was you or some other girls, but there were some people who literally didn't show up to Eid prayer because they couldn't find the right clothes to wear. That was you.
100%, that was me. I'm one of those dramatic people that would not go to Eid prayer because I couldn't find the perfect outfit. Oh man. Oh,
But
my
I don't do that
goodness.
anymore though. Do you still like think
No.
about Eid prayer? No, you just wear an
No.
abaya
Yeah,
and you just go, right?
We're old now.
Yeah. We'll leave that to the
Imagine
kids.
if I told you I'm going Eid clothes shopping, you'd be like, "What?"
What exactly?
I think because now that we're older and we have our own money,
Yeah.
we literally go shopping whenever we want. So
Exactly.
it's like, what's something that people haven't seen me wear yet
Mhm.
recently?
There's one time where I wore because we still had during Ramadan we had like if those iftars I was talking about. This was back in the day. Well, like a few years ago, where I literally wore the same outfit on the iftar day and on the Eid day. Nothing changed. I wore the exact same outfit twice in a week, which is something that is not even normal in a normal case. But like,
Amir Harun, you are an outfit repeater. No, I'm just
yes.
kidding. It's a line from the Lizzie McGuire movie. How do you not know that? I've made you watch it so many
Oh
times.
yeah, we did watch it like a few weeks ago. How long ago was that?
That was literally December when
Oh my
Gizman was
God.
here.
That was a long time.
That was a very
It felt
long
like
time
only a
ago.
few weeks ago, but
I
then you never
know.
know. With pandemic time, is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm still praying that by the end of the month, at least the restrictions will be somewhat picked up.
You're optimistic.
I know, but
That's very optimistic.
I'm just gonna get a shirt that says optimistic on the front. I literally was on ASOS yesterday,
Yeah.
just going through like shirts I wanted to get, and one of them would literally said like optimistic, but it was some weird like tight fit shirt, so like it doesn't work. But if I can find one that's like maybe a hoodie or like a nice T-shirt that just says optimistic on it, I'm getting that ASAP.
I would get one that says, who am I kidding? I feel like I'm pretty optimistic too. Like,
Yeah.
I want to pretend like I'm a realist.
I'm hyper optimistic.
I'm not hyper. I'm minor optimistic.
Okay,
If
but I'm
that's-
also a realist. Can you be a realist and an optimistic? And an optimist?
If that's the case, then that's me.
Yeah.
You're more optimistic than you are a realist.
Yeah.
I think.
Wait, I'm what?
You're more of an optimistic
Optimist.
optimist.
Then what? I got you saying it. Oh my God. Oh,
You're
shoot.
more of an optimist than a realist, I think. You're just so positive. I don't know. Sometimes your positivity is
You
like,
gotta be positive, man.
stop being so
You
positive.
gotta be positive. That's also something I picked up from what I was talking about before, like Man is a Prophet. I feel like he was an optimist, but also I feel like he was also like a stoic at the same time.
Very stoic.
Mm-hmm. What's that sound?
Is it the ice cream truck?
Your podcast over. Now.
Yo. Listen, I don't care if I'm 75.
Time.
If I'm 75, I will be excited for that ice cream truck.
Yeah, that soft serve
Yeah.
with the dip,
With the dip,
chocolate
with
dip.
the dip.
Oh my God,
That is literally the best
Mhm.
best thing. Anyone who got the friggin' blue or the pink one, you're nasty.
Nah,
You're
nah.
actually sick. That's disgusting.
I don't think. Well, would you get vanilla, chocolate, or twist?
Is that even a question?
What would you get?
Twist.
Of course.
Who
Oh
would get-
shoot, sorry. I just
Who would get anything else?
yeah. The twist was always
Twist, it had to
A1
be.
day
It
one.
had to be twist. It had to be.
With the chocolate dip.
Now I want some.
Yeah, we're talking about food while we're
Amir.
fasting.
You know what? On the topic of fasting and food,
Mhm.
it's a real thing going grocery shopping when you're fasting.
Mhm.
You buy things that you've never even had before,
Mhm.
but it just looks good because you're fasting.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I
I
have to break my rule because my rule is always never go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. But in Ramadan, you have no choice.
Yeah, you really don't.
So that's why I buy my food way ahead of time. So, but I do have to go this week because I bought it for 2 weeks.
Go in the morning when you're not that hungry.
Or actually, no, I still should have enough food for the next week. So actually, I don't have to go this week. But I can't go in the morning. I guess I can go in the morning on the weekends.
The weekend,
but
yeah.
I go at specific times because I know that's when the lines are going to be the shortest.
Oh.
Because you know how the lines are hell long at some of these
Yeah.
places like
Yeah,
Costco
yeah.
or Walmart. So, but I also like to go, even though it's more expensive, I prefer to go to like my local grocery store. Because
Sun
more-
Valley.
Yeah, Sun Valley, which is like the only place left that's just a regular local grocery store, like it has everything you need.
Mm.
It's just a little bit more expensive, but it's owned by like someone who lives in the neighborhood. It's like the single
Oh.
location. So I like to support like small businesses like that, right? Even though it's a fairly large store, it's still owned by one guy, and it's not like a franchise or anything, or no longer a franchise. Um, but that's something I've been trying to be more mindful of, because if you go to these big places like Walmart
Yeah.
or Costco, like the little guys are all the ones that are being pushed out. The little
Like smaller stores.
smaller stores.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to be very conscious of that, especially in these times where
Mhm.
it's harder for these smaller businesses to stay open. So we kind of have to support them. And even though it's going to cost us a little more, we have at least, we're able to still work full time.
Yep.
So we have the privilege to at least have that money or to spend in those smaller businesses and hopefully keep them open. So when things open up, they don't have to, they're not left behind.
It really sucks what they did though. Like they basically told all the stores, "Yep, patio season is here."
Mm-hmm.
They opened like all the stores, prepared for that, bought all their supplies, hired people, and then a week and a half later, they're like, "Just kidding, we're all going back into stage
That's why
whatever lockdown."
I feel like Doug Ford's approval rate right now. Doug Ford is the mayor of Toronto. I feel like his approval rate right now is like in the negative. I don't think it could be any worse. There's probably those like crazy white people who are still supporting him or whatever.
I don't think anyone's supporting him
even
at
the
this
white
point.
people probably don't support him.
Like no, white people love the outdoors, okay? And if they're gonna be told to stay locked in when the weather's nice, they're gonna hate you.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that with this new law, he didn't listen, because I think a lot of the healthcare workers were asking for paid time off.
Paid sick days.
Sick days, which I honestly had I saw some people posting about it, like some nurses posting about it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I was literally going to message, be like, what do you mean by paid sick days? I don't understand what this means. I was like, why don't I just Google it first?
Mm-hmm.
So I Googled it, and now I understand what it is, because like, at least, well, the thing that I read online was more in line with like people who work factory jobs.
Yeah.
Because those people, if they don't have paid sick days, then they feel like if they take their sick days, they're going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd rather go into work even though they're feeling sick than to lose their job. And that's not something that people should be doing or having to go through in a time like this. And on healthcare workers' side, so do you understand why the healthcare workers, specifically like nurses and stuff, are asking for paid sick days off?
Yeah, actually, the one time I did watch the news, I don't know who this woman was, but she was basically saying that they're asking for paid sick days because people who don't have the luxury of working from home and actually have to go out to work, if they don't have paid sick days, they're the ones that unfortunately are getting exposed to the virus. And if they don't have their own car, you now have to take public transportation.
Yeah, and you've seen those videos and pictures of people on TTC where it's literally packed with people.
Yes, which I was surprised because I didn't think it was like, I thought it was going to be
empty.
empty.
I thought there was still social distancing on the buses, but apparently they don't care anymore. They're just
Is it because they have less service, like less buses now, and so that's why all of them are packed? Or
possibly? I think that's
what
the
I
case.
assumed.
Yeah.
But and so because there aren't any paid sick days, or there's like the fear of losing your job because you may get sick.
So nurses don't get paid sick days?
I'm not sure about nurses, but I know like if you have to go to work and then you get COVID, for example, you basically get like temporarily laid off. Like you have to go in EI right away. There's no sick days, which is crazy to me.
Damn, I did not know that. Yeah, so
it depends on your company, but like for the most part, they're not going to pay you sick days.
Yeah. So if you're a nurse out there, please educate me a little more on this, because I still I never knew that people didn't get paid sick days, because I think I get paid sick. I think a lot of companies give out paid sick days, but I didn't know that there were companies who didn't. I thought that was just
you might
given.
get like 2, 3.
Yeah.
If you accumulate them, you have more. But
so how many paid sick days are they asking for? Like,
I honestly I don't know. That's something that we
maybe it's just something we should come back to. We're all kind of off topic, anyways.
Yeah.
So do you have any closing remarks about Ramadan?
I mean, I don't want to feel down about this month because I still want to take advantage of our time while we have it. But you know, I think I actually I feel like we had a good conversation. Like I took away some things that I want to implement now. But I also have this huge sense of nostalgia. Like I want to see everyone now.
Yeah.
Like I'm angry that we
It'll
can't.
make you appreciate it more when you do have it in the future, inshallah.
Oh yeah, like listen, the next time we can like go to Eid prayer Ramadan, like
Yeah.
we're going all out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want a 5-star meal when we go to the but yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, I'm gonna be optimistic like Amir and just hope that the restrictions are a little bit eased up. Maybe we can have Eid in a park or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so if you want to take advantage of the month and maybe donate to some things that
your good deeds are multiplied
exactly
during this month.
So there are actually a few things out
we'll leave
there.
some links in our description of this podcast, and you know, you can check it out if you have any
if you have any suggestions yourself, you can let us know. We can add it to the description of the actual podcast.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll leave some charities and some places that you can actually donate to in the description, so maybe you can benefit even more from this month. We kind of went in a lot longer than we thought we would.
Yeah, we really did.
Thought this was gonna be like a 30-minute thing. This is typically how long our podcast probably will be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my name is Amir.
My name is Sarah, and if you like what we're talking about and want to hear more, don't forget to follow us on our socials.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I still don't know how to close these things off properly.
We're getting there. There. Cousin Connection Pod on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. I think, you know, we're still getting our groove. So for everyone who's like the first wave of listeners, we really appreciate you. We're so open to feedback and suggestions. I know, like, once we're good with this and we're comfortable, who knows, we might even have a special guest or two and have some other input. So
I feel like we've gotten, since we've already recorded technically like 2 or 3 episodes before this, we've gotten a lot more comfortable at doing this, and we kind of like have improved. So it's going to be kind of weird going from this episode to the ones that we might release after, because keep in mind that we recorded those episodes before this one, so we're already practiced at this point, and we're kind of used to the format. So there might be a little bit of degradation of the
decrease in quality.
Yeah, you know what? We'll let you be the judge of that.
Yeah. Let us know how you feel about it.
Exactly. Let us know how you feel. Give us your feedback at Cousin Connection Pod on Instagram. Message us on there, and hopefully you have a blessed Ramadan.
Yeah, Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Exactly. And yeah. I don't know. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye.
That took way too long.